group of people, like they keep pointing and laughing at me, and they also saying things like, why you are so small, you shouldn't be here, you should go back to your country.
Trung Nguyễn, a Vietnamese international student at Australian Catholic University, suffered from Asian racism after 6 months of living in Australia. The dream country seemed to fall apart when she went to anti-Asians.
I was very scared and I was very anxious about that, but after that I feel very angry. They have no rights to blame me or to racist me based on my identity.
Asian racism is not new in Australia anymore. It has been an unresolved problem not in Australia but across the world for decades. However, during the COVID-19, there was a rise in anti-Asians in Australia because the blame for the virus spread was caused by the Asian community. The Australian Human Rights Commission recorded the highest number of racial discriminations in February 2020. 1 in 4 people report racism linked those incidents to COVID-19.
Since the pandemic started, everyone started to blame Asian countries, and that's also the main reason for Asian hate, especially international students being hated for no reason.
Most of Asian international students experience incidents in public space, such as on the street, in a supermarket.
Yeah, and like in the city as well, I've experienced a couple times people just calling out, just saying, you know, you just go away, this and that, why are you in this country and stuff like that, like, yeah.
Henry Leung, an international student of communications and media study at Monash University, has been living in Melbourne for 4 years. He also experienced anti-Asians while studying.
I've come to this country and like just to study and everything, like live my own life in my own way. I'm not doing anything wrong, but why am I being judged, or like why am I being generalized in a certain way, which I felt not pleasing.
Aaron Chu, a founder of the Asian Australians Alliance, emphasized that Asian racism had appeared for a long time now since COVID-19 began.
So one thing we have to recognize is that the racism against Asians in Australia, but also the racism against Asians all over the world, did not just happen when the pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, that was a symptom of the bigger problem of racism in Australia. The issue of racism in Australia has been happening since the first Asians stepped foot in Australia.
According to the Asian Australian Alien research, more than half of Chinese respondents, about 52%, have reported racism in Australia since March 2020. Among them, there were 12.3% of Asian international students were victims of Asian hate. More than 2 years after the COVID-19 began, the moment is still hard for Asian people who are studying and living in Australia.
Racism problem in Australia, that problem will always be there, whether COVID was there or not there.
The Asian Australian Alien report showed that Asian individuals are subject to a wide range of incidents. Most incidents were racial slur or name calling.
Is that communist China?
Oh, isn't that where you're from?
Internet abuse, making it out as a joke, and verbal threats. International students not only suffer from homesickness, financial pressure, and academic results, now they also suffer from discriminations. This could have a negative impact on their mental health and physical health.
I'm scared to be opened up at school and to walk along on the street as well.
Although many international students experience Asian hate, they choose to keep silent.
It's better to stay away from trouble, kind of thing. Like I can't change people, so yeah, I just thought like it's better to not react much and just get on with my day.
So I choose to keep them by myself, and I just suffer it alone.
When your mental health is bad, it impacts on your physical health and how you are physically as well.
According to Aaron Chu, statistics of Asian racism could understate the problem because many incidents go unreported.
The biggest problems is that lack of access to reporting, lack of understanding of how to report.
The survey of Asian Australian aliens found that the vast majority of respondents, 84.8%, did not report the COVID-19 related racist incident to the police.
One of the reasons why people do keep silent is because they don't want to place another target, but also language barriers and cultural barriers also hold the community back.
International students should reach out to ask for help to get over the mental health and physical health problem due to the anti-Asian in Australia.
When you do report, things can change, even though they may not feel that it is being investigated, but it contributes to the numbers and to the greater good of talking about that issue in Australia and to have facts to prove beyond anecdotal evidence that racism is a problem.
We should stand up for themselves and also raise our voice to go against the racism's idea and also the racism thought to prevent it as soon as possible.
KHANH Dscribe reporter.